There's so many interesting things going on in this interview between Kamala Harris and Uncle Luke, and I need y'all to just go watch it for yourself. But one of the main things I noticed, besides the fact that she kept looking off to the right for a lot of the interview, like she couldn't look him in his eye. Um, One of the other things that I noticed was before I get to that, when she said, okay, no, let's get to that. When he said a strong, why can't they just believe that you're a strong black woman living a strong black life? Strong black women don't watch collard greens in the tub, first of all. They don't put on fake accents every time they get in front of African Americans, pretending they're from the South. Another thing I realized in the interview is she lied and said she was from Inglewood, California. And it's like, no, you're from Canada. You grew up in Canada. And by the time you got to college, you decided to come to the States and go to Howard. Just because you go to a HBCU don't mean you're black. I was at HBCUs. It was white folks, Hispanics, Chinese, people that want to learn about the culture, people that want to go to, well, where I was at, cheaper schools, people that want to learn about their culture or half of their culture, being that she's quad racial, 4 or 5 racial. Just because you pledge AKA don't mean you black. They let anybody in. If you look like you some type of ethnic group, they will let you in. That's the truth. You don't have to be black. But what I want to say is, when he said a strong black woman living a strong black life, that made me think, okay, she must have, okay, so she grew up with a strong black woman, like a single black mom, right? Working 2, 3 jobs, trying to provide for her, coming from the hood, and she overcame all odds. Now she married to a black man and got little chocolate babies, whether they light brown, in between, all the way to the lightest of the dark, they black babies, right? No, ma'am. She was raised by an Indian woman. She came from a high class, upper class, elite family of an Indian mom and a supposedly Jamaican dad who really identifies as Irish and Indian. So where is the black in that? If anything, she might be about 12% African American or African for that matter. And that's fine, but don't perpetrate and don't call her what she's not. That's not a strong black woman. That's just a woman that happened to have been, I don't even want to say successful, because a strong black woman doesn't claim to be from California when she's from Canada, when she came from an upper class family. A strong black woman doesn't lock up black men in California and she put away, I forgot his first name, but his last name is True Love. She wrongfully persecuted him, wrongfully prosecuted him, and had him spend 6 years in a California prison for a murder he did not commit. And you can look up the name True Love, because I forgot the first part of his name, excuse me, something True Love. And he did 6 years in prison because of Kamala Harris for a crime he did not commit. And when he got up, when he got out, he ended up doing millions, getting millions of dollars, but that can't pay back the years she took away from him. So when you say strong black woman, this is not things that strong black women do. We don't hold our black men down. We don't put them in prison for smoking weed or smoking marijuana, and then we know we did the same thing about it, but when it comes to us, we laugh about it, and then we lock up other black men. That's not what a strong black woman does. So to say that she was a strong black woman living a strong black life is reaching. She's married to a white man. She doesn't have black kids. She doesn't have any kids. I think she has a white stepson and I think a black or something stepdaughter or something, but she doesn't have kids. She's married to a Caucasian man. She came from an upper class mixed family that really did not include African American anything. So I just feel like this whole interview, he was reaching. She couldn't look him in his eye. She was like, when it comes to me, people don't know what box to put me in because they've never seen it before. That lets you know she doesn't identify as black, because we've seen black before. When it comes to politics, we've seen Jesse Jackson. We've seen black politics, and they didn't just find out they were black. One thing that stood out to me, she was like, I didn't just find out who I was. I didn't just have an awakening. I know who I am. But if you notice, if you watch the interview, she never went and described who she was ethnically, her culture, or her people. She just was like, I know who I am. I didn't just find out I was black. She didn't say that, but that's what she was trying to say. It's like, okay, so who are you? What's your ethnicity? What's your culture? She never elaborated because she cannot connect to black people, to African American culture. She grew up with an Indian mom in Canada. You're not from Inglewood, California. You're not a chick from the hood. You're from Canada. You came from an upper class elite family that had money. And I don't know about y'all, but I've never seen Indians from across the water, not Native American. I've never seen them poor. When I go to the projects, when I've been in the projects, when I visited my grandma, I ain't never seen no Indians in the projects. They are always rich or at least middle class. So her reaching and trying to be like, I'm from Inglewood, California. I'm just a California girl. Baby, no, you're not. You're from Canada. You don't know anything about black culture, else you would have never said you wash greens in a tub. She went to an HBCU to maybe figure out, what are these people that they call black people? What are they? Let me go to an HBCU and let me pose and let me join this sorority so I can have some type of oomph behind me when I run, because I know I want to get in politics and I know I can pander these people. And the last part of it, her just saying, oh, I was about to go off on him. I was like, she really be pandering and blackface, and like, you don't have no type of black girl attitude. She likes to pretend, and I just call it blackfacing because it's not true to who she is. She's really an Indian woman. That's the culture she knows. That's what she knows. She doesn't know anything about being black except locking up black men. That's what she knows about being black. She's not married to a black man. She's married to a white man. So what about her signifies that she's a strong black woman, living a strong black life, when there are not black people or black aspects in her life like that? She didn't come from a struggle. She didn't come from a single black mom working 2 jobs or even 1 job. She didn't have black siblings. She didn't go to school with chocolate people. She went to school in Canada. She had an Indian mom. It's okay to be different, and it's okay to be quad racial. Some people call it a mutt. Some other people may say that that word is racially discriminative. So I try to stay away from it. But I know growing up, going to an art school, I would see lots of girls that were quad racial, meaning four ethnicities all in one, or 5. They would always say, I'm a mutt, or I'm like a putt. Now, somebody would say, like, that's disrespectful, but that's what they would say. So really, if she has an Indian mom and she has a dad that says he's Indian and Irish, that means she got like 3-4 races in her. So she's really not black. She's quad racial. And that's okay. Just don't pretend to be a black woman when you're not. Don't pretend to know black culture when you're not. So I just found that interview just very strange. And the fact that he kept trying to, like, Uncle Luke kept trying to like pander, like pump her up and be like, yeah, because you went to Howard. Okay, she went to Howard. That don't make her black. Like I said, there's other people that go to HBCUs that ain't black. That doesn't make her black. People can go to a HBCU to learn about black people, to learn about the culture. You know, when I went to Clark, I heard this Asian young man say, I wanted to come because I wanted to learn about black people. Then you have some people that are mixed that go to these schools because they grew up with a white mom. They grew up with an Asian mom, and they don't know anything about their other side. So they go to find out. That doesn't mean you like black. That just means you going to school. Just because you join a sorority, like I said, they take white people, they take Hispanics, they take people that ain't black. So to me, she's not a black woman. I'm sorry. And you don't have to be a black woman. But my thing is, I don't find fault that she's not a black woman. I find fault that she pretends to be, that she puts on accents when she gets in front of black people, that she propagandas and black faces our culture. Oh, yeah, I had to wash him out in the tub. I'm so black. I know all about it. You don't even know about being Jamaican. She ain't say nothing about no Jamaican food. So I feel like she's just perpetrating all the way around. Even when she said, think about the kid next door, you know, she was like, but when you see me, what are the 4 words you think about? You don't know because you've never seen it before. That's showing you that she's not black either. Not to mention in one interview, they were like, well, what are you going to do for black people? And she was like, I'm not going to say I'm going to do anything specifically for black people. But I found out that she's giving like millions of dollars to Asian people, to Indians, to Asians running their own business, and to illegal immigrants, of course, as we all know, but nothing for us. And I'm not saying you have to do anything specific for one people, but of course you probably will if those are your people and you're a minority in office. But do something for all Americans. But what she has did is done something for Indians and Asian Americans, giving them millions of dollars and giving our money to illegal immigrants. When we're trying to go to college, when we're trying to figure out how we're going to pay, she's giving it to illegal immigrants for free, giving them driver's license so they can vote. And they ain't even been over here to know nothing about nothing, just getting it for free. That's what I do know about her. So I don't see a strong black woman. I don't see my mom when I look at Kamala Harris. I don't see any strong black woman that I've known. When I look at Kamala Harris, I see a perpetrator, a woman that black faces our culture, a woman that pimps our culture, and that black people are just like being deceived and silly off of because she want to throw on a little fake accent. And it's humiliating and it's anger. It's upsetting to a real black woman because it's like, just be yourself. Don't pretend to be what you're not. It's a no for me. It's definitely a no. And then I guess I'll make that a separate video, but what What policies does she have besides abortion, and women's rights and transgender rights? None. None. But I'll make that a separate video because I'm going to respond to Ricky Smiley. That's it. That's all I had to say. I don't see a strong black woman when I see her. I see a perpetrator. And there's nothing wrong with being other, being biracial, being Indian, being anything but black. But be that. Be yourself. Don't pretend to know something you don't. Because if you were a black woman, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have to fake a Southern accent. You wouldn't think that washing greens was in the tub. You just wouldn't do all this fake stuff. It would be believable. When I see her, it seems like she's always faking, and it's always pretend. And then she was like, oh yeah, I was about to go off on her. I guess because in order to be a black woman, you got to just go off on people. And there are some that do. Like I'm one of them that is short-tempered. We know that black women can be short-tempered. But my thing was she was reaching because you don't look like the type that's going to go off on anybody. She looked like the type that's all dingy and bougie, kind of like an Oreo that walks in the room. And it's just like, because I am now in America, but I was from Canada. But I'm in America. What else does my script say? Hey, you Trump supporters, I'm going to win the election. If you want Trump to win, just say it. The election is mine. If you want to vote for Trump, like she just repeats herself. She just seems very dingy. Nothing about her is giving strong black woman. It's just reaching, pretending, and I'm over it. I was so offended with this thing because she knew nothing about black culture, but she sit there staring out the window because she knew that's really Uncle Luke was trying to act like she's some strong black woman, and she was staring out the window like, oh, I'm so over these black people, but I gotta pretend, and I know this ain't me. I can't. That's why she couldn't say nothing when she was like, I know who I am. I was like, well, who is she? I was waiting for her to talk about her race, her ethnicity, her culture, her growing up, listening to gospel and soul, and watching her mama cook soul food and go to church and glory hallelujah like black folks do, but she couldn't do it because she don't know nothing about it. Oh, okay, if you don't know nothing about that, the Jamaican side, because that's still very black. They know how to cook. They very, that's still, she couldn't do that. So stop perpetrating is my point. But y'all want to support her. I don't care what color you are, but it's like, be yourself. Kamala Harris can't even be herself. She sits up there at every rally, screams abortion, looks at lines, says the same thing 1,000 times. And it's like, I have no policies. Abortion. I hate Trump. We're not going back. But that's who y'all want to vote for. It's not giving strong black woman. It's giving a perpetrator. And y'all, we need to wake up and come off the plantation and realize who has the better policy. Who's better for the economy. This is not about skin or what they say. It's about, at the end of the day, action. She's been in the office behind closed doors, behind curtains for 4 years. And look at how our economy is. Look at how your pockets are. Look at how your money is. Look at what's going on with rent. I don't have to say it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Look at what's going on. But she want to act like, oh, as soon as I get in there, you've been in there, not doing nothing for us. But we're supposed to vote for you because you're perpetrating blackness. I'm done with this video.
Now, let's be clear. A strong woman does not have to be black, okay? A strong woman can be a strong white woman, a strong Latina woman, a strong Asian woman. The problem is, he said a strong black woman, and I just don't see her as such. But I don't even see her as a strong woman. I find her to be very fake. I can't relate to her. Her locking up, black men. I just find everything about her as a perpetrator. I don't even see her as a successful woman or strong woman, period. And I look at it as a strong black woman is going to be raised by a strong black woman. Now, if you just want to say a strong woman, you can be a strong mixed woman, a strong anything. I don't see her as a strong woman, period. I find her to be very unrelatable, very fake, very reaching. She seems very dingy. It just seems like she has a low IQ. She doesn't really know how to express herself at rallies. She says the same things over and over. I don't think she knows anything about running a country, to be honest with you. So I don't see her as a strong woman that Uncle Luke is trying to make her. It's not about, you have to have a black mom or have to be black to be a strong woman, because you absolutely don't. You can be a strong Latina woman, a strong white woman, Indian woman, Chinese woman, but I don't see her as a strong woman, period. And to say the least, definitely not a strong black woman. So it's like, stop reaching. This is not the job for her.